Alright guys, BLM here back with more NieR Replicant. It's been a few days, but yeah, we are continuing on. It is, what, Tuesday morning-ish? Yeah, 11:48. I don't even know what we're doing. What are we doing? Like, what's our main objective right now? Oh, return to Yora, okay. So it's just here, right? But yeah, I mean, since I last recorded here, yesterday I did do my Australian Survivor cast assessment. Got that fully together. Actually, when was the last time I recorded? I don't even remember anymore. Was it like Saturday night? It probably was, right? Because I streamed Sunday. Yeah, actually, yeah, it's been a while, actually. Yeah, so Australian Survivor cast came out. I did my cast assessment there.
Where'd she go? Maybe she's still
Put that together yesterday, which I didn't record yesterday. Streamed the last 2 nights. Sunday I streamed Gravity Rush 2 and kind of just wasn't feeling it. So last night I did start my Mass Effect stream series. I did also finish writing my Mass Effect 3 script along the way as well. And for some reason I decided to rewatch the Joe Schmo show in all that time as well. Season 1, so that's something as well. At the library, okay. Who's this guy?
You know the junk heap in the northern plains?
Okay, I don't care. But anyway, that's kind of been the last few days. I do work today. They actually just called me not too long ago to tell me that they'd like me to come in a bit earlier than normal. Which is kind of annoying, but whatever, I guess I'll do it. But I don't know how much I'll play NieR here. To be honest, I'm not really feeling it so far. Like so far, like I'm just not really in the mood to be playing a game like this. But we'll see. We'll see if things change. Yeah, I just feel like I'm so deep into Mass Effect at this point. Like playing anything but Mass Effect feels pretty jarring to me. But well, we'll see.
Hey, Popola, I can't find Yona.
Really?
You have any idea where she might be?
She stopped by earlier today, but that was a while ago.
Did she say anything?
She just asked if I knew where lunar tears grow. She's so cute. I told her how they used to grow around the lost shrine long ago.
Why is Yona asking about lunar tears? Oh, crap.
What's wrong?
Yesterday, I told her that story about how lunar tears can make you rich.
Oh.
It's like, oh, I definitely forgot about that one thing.
Then we got to talking about how we could use the money to buy medicine to make her better.
We had this like detailed conversation, and we just forgot about
I
it.
think that's exactly what she did.
Oh shit.
I have to go find her. What's the fastest way to the Lost Shrine?
Through the eastern gate.
Got it. Thanks.
Okay. I'll be honest, I'm pretty tired. And like usually doing 2 streams in a row, it's a bit tiring to me.
I have to get to
Like
the
2
Eastern
days
Gate.
where I stream in a row. So would not be surprised if I only do like an episode or 2 of this. Just decide to kind of rest for the rest of the day until I go into work. We'll see. Tonight we'll see how things go. Because there might be a thing I do after work.
What's that?
Okay.
I can't believe this. She really went to the Lost Shrine.
Isn't that like best case scenario? Saying at least in that way we know where she's going. whatever. I guess I could have gone forward first and then drink during the cutscene, but whatever. During the loading screen, I mean. Yeah, Mass Effect was fun last night. Again, doing Renegade, doing, playing on Sandy mode, which, did get annoying a couple times so far, but nothing, like, too major. Like, it's definitely doable. Wait, what? Where am I going here? Yeah, it's definitely not, like, a thing that I feel like I can't do. Mind you, obviously, I'm still relatively early in the game. What I ended up doing is, so I obviously finished the prologue, I finished the initial Citadel section, and then I, got to peak 15 on Novaria. So, like, that's the spot that I'm at right now. So, like, about, like, I don't know, maybe a third of the way. Third of the game, if that. Still relatively early on. Which did take me over 4 hours to do that. Largely because I kept on dying, especially like at sections towards the end.
There's no way Yona could have made it past here.
But yeah, at this point, I still feel committed to trying to finish on Insanity. I think what I'm gonna try to do is I'm just gonna straight up try to platinum all 3 Mass Effect games, because I'm actually very close already. Like, I looked it up with Mass Effect 1. Literally all I need is... I'll need to go back to my original save and then, like, complete a few side quests, I think. Like, a few things here and there. To get the completion trophy. And, ooh. And then I need to do, then after that, it's just a lot of, like, oh, use this skill 25 times and stuff, which is annoying, but it's, like, it's definitely, like, it wouldn't take that much time to end up doing that. Like, probably another few hours, but, like, it's something I think I'm willing to do to get the platinum in Mass Effect 1. Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 2 I had like 90%. I don't even remember what I didn't get. I remember that there was one trophy that didn't unlock when it was supposed to unlock. So, like, hopefully through this playthrough I kind of end up getting that. Yeah, I feel like Mass Effect 2, like, I think I'm only missing, like, I don't even remember what trophy I'm missing, but it's like really minor things. I think it's another one that's like, oh, like, you do this 10 times or do this like 20 times or whatever. I feel like that's something that's doable. And then Mass Effect 3, I think it's a similar thing. Like, I don't think there's anything outrageous, just in general. And then, like, when it comes to the Legendary Edition trophies, like, the only one I'm missing is the Insanity trophies. So it's like, again, like, if I can finish the trilogy on Insanity, look at that point, it's like, I might as well just fucking 100% the entire trilogy at that point. It's just not that, like, it would probably take me an extra, like, 10 hours or so, but it's like, I feel like that's worth it, to get the, trophies and everything. But yeah, if I do that, I'll probably just do it on stream, I think. Like, do the process of trying to platinum the game. Huh. Who thought the enemies would have showed up?
I'm coming, Yona.
Sure. Wait, where do I go? No. What's up? Actually, since we're here, I forgot what I was listening to Big Brother Live Feed update. I might as well just continue on with that, right?
With the Jokers and all of that, it's pretty, by the book here. We're also going to get some stuff here with. Okay, so this is interesting. This is one of the more interesting parts of the entire day, really. So we know that Kyland is has sort of a duo, right, with Sarah Beth, right? This is something that I thought might happen in the preseason, and it has. Sarah Beth, I think, is very loyal to Kyland. Kyland, not necessarily the most loyal person in general. I don't think that that's the basket that she should be really putting all of her eggs into necessarily, but it is the basket that she has chosen. And they're going to talk at night in the Have-Not room. And when I say talk, I'm sorry, but that is a misrepresentation. They're going to whisper. They're going to have a whisper in the night.
Where am I going?
They're alone in the Have-Not room.
Oh, here?
Literally, with like boxes piled up in front of the door. And they're still...
Where am I going then?
I'm done with the whispering. I'm so sick of it.
Am I supposed to go down there?
Kyland whispers all the time, and she will start talking, and he'll go into a whisper again, and he'll bring them back down to a whisper.
Oh shit! I think that's the entrance.
We need to do more soundproof. We need to do something. We need to do something because, man, this was a difficult conversation to listen to. But
of course,
basically, from what I could catch,
yeah, that was the entrance.
She is going to open up to him about this newly formed Jackpot Alliance, and basically gives him the rundown on her entire game. And he is going to reciprocate a bit here and let her know about Slaughterhouse. Now, this is again, like, Kyland, especially when he talks to Sarah Beth, is somebody who tends to, like, he gives her information, and then she comes to logical conclusions from that information, and then he tries to walk the information back. Like, oh, I said too much. Like, he tells her about Slaughterhouse, and she's like, oh, crap, that's concerning. Like, that's a majority alliance going on. Like, that's, like, Xavier's in it. Like, these people are in it. Like, I need to be worried about it. No. I mean, Xavier's, like, barely doing anything, and, don't worry, you don't need to do anything like that.
What are you doing?
And, it's like, okay. But Sarah Beth now knows about Slaughterhouse, and I'm pretty sure that she had already been told about a slaughterhouse. Like, most people have been told about Slaughterhouse at some point, but they are not in the Slaughterhouse now. So, you know, take that for what you will. We haven't really gotten a chance to see where Sarah will go with this information quite yet. Now, her immediate response was not super promising to me, because after learning about the Slaughterhouse and being a bit concerned about it, she went on to discuss, like, okay, well, let's see. If you have those people, and I have, you know, Jackpot and these people, she's kind of going through, like, okay, who are we safe with next week? It seems like we've got most of our angles covered. And they run through a list of people, and they feel like, for the most part, they're pretty good. There's a kind of a weird thing here. She mentions Azza. She says, I feel like I'm safe with Azza. And Kyland says, well, are you? I'm not sure. And I'm not sure where this is coming from, because Kyland is not going to, like, this really doesn't feel like him throwing Sarah off the scent of him being close to Azza or him feeling good with Azza. I think because he doesn't do that with any of the other members of the Cookout. Nor does the Cookout, by the way, ever really meet that much or talk that much.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing this one.
It's a loose connection here, but he's like, I feel like I don't get a sense from Azza, and like, I don't know where she stands, and so I don't know if you're safe with Azza. And Sarah has to be like, well, I'm actually pretty close with Azza. I talk with her all the time, so I feel very good. Like, oh, okay, well, that's great then. Like, okay, we're good then with Azza. Azza, by the way, as a quick aside,
I'm trying to look it up right now, though.
It's something that I noticed. She spends a lot of time in her room. She has not been the most social person in general, and it's something that's a little bit concerning to me in terms of her game, and it's something that I had noticed, something that I hadn't quite pointed out yet, but last night the house guests pointed it out. I think it was Brent, and maybe Christian or some of them, but they pointed out, like, yeah, Aza, like, she really, yeah, she's kind of like stays in bed a lot, hangs out in the bedroom a lot. Don't love this from Aza. I think, again, like, you need to be more active in the game, and I'm not quite seeing it from her right now, and that's something I think that I am a little bit concerned about. So they talk about that. Then Sarah brings up Derek, and she says, look, Derek apparently said my name, and I'll give Kyland a little bit of credit here. He does say,
okay, so there's a key underneath one.
The thing about Derek saying your name is that first Frenchie said that he would nominate a woman as a replacement for me, and so they were running through a list of a bunch of names, and she said, oh, okay, well, I wasn't told that by Frenchie, but he still said my name, and it's an easy excuse, right? And so she's like, basically, what I'm looking for, like, how important is Derek to you? Because if he's an important ally to you, then I don't have to target him or anything. And Kylan's response is, it's not it. Not even I wouldn't go after him. But the second he goes, not the second, but like, you know, as soon as he goes, I'm fine. He's a liability. Like, don't worry. She's like, okay, so because that's probably who I'm going to target. Just because, you know, he's thrown my name out, and it's an easy excuse, and, you know, he's sort of a consensus house target, right? So it would be an easy thing to do. Again, hate this from Kylan. Why would you intentionally throw away an ally who just won and used a veto on you? Like, you're gaining no credit for ditching your ally. Nobody ever gains credit in the house by ditching their ally. I mean, we said this before, don't go down with the ship. If somebody's being targeted and, like, there's nothing that you can do, don't continue to fight until, like, it's all over, and you're like, no, I'm coming, I'm getting revenge for them. Like, sure, don't do that, but also don't at the very first, like, teeny little sign of trouble be like, whoa, who is that? I don't even know who that is. What are you talking about? I've never even talked to that person in my life. Because that's how you lose allies, and that's how you, like, it's not exactly like a good showing. If I was in the Big Brother house and I saw somebody who was friends with somebody else who was like, what? No, you can target them. I'd be like, excuse me? Like, that would be such a red flag for me. And it doesn't appear to be with the players in the house so far. Nobody is, like, super concerned about Kylan, at least of his. I shouldn't say that, actually. There are a lot of people who are concerned about Kylan, as we discussed earlier. But Sarah Beth does not appear to see this as a red flag necessarily. But all he needed to do was say, please don't. I prefer that you didn't target Derek, because he's a friend of mine. He just used a veto on me. He just stayed up all night last night, getting Frenchie in his ear, getting Frenchied all night long, trying to convince him to do things, trying to, like, be like, oh, you should do this, blah, 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 blah. And he stood up for me, and he comforted me, and he said, no, I'm using the veto on Kylan, and I'm ditching my other ally in favor of Kylan because I like the guy, I want to work with him, he's my guy, and I want to make up for whatever, right? Now that guy, don't need him. He's valuable to you in this game, Kylan, even if you, because look, I fully hear the argument, like, you don't need to reciprocate goodwill and that, like, he used a veto on you, great, ditch in the next, that's the Allison move, right? Ditch Nathan right after he uses the veto on you. but only if you have to, right? Allison wouldn't have ditched Nathan if she didn't have to. She had to. There was no other choice. He's a valuable tool in the game. Don't throw him away so easily. This is an ally who just gave up her alliance, her entire game to you. You don't have to play like, oh, well, she kind of wants to target him, so I don't want to appear like I'm defending him too much. Say that you want to keep him around, and she'll listen to you. But he doesn't. And, on the other side of things, Sarah is targeting Derek. Still, after hearing about Slaughterhouse, knowing that Derek is not part of Slaughterhouse, knowing that she is not part of Slaughterhouse. Are you sure you want to do that, Sarah? Hopefully she thinks about this, right? Because she kind of came into that conversation already knowing that that's what she wanted to do. And I'm hoping that, like, once this information settles in a little bit, she'll be like,
I'm low on health.
maybe I shouldn't do exactly what the big majority alliance wants me to do if I'm HOH, that I'm not a part of. Maybe. We'll see. All right. So, Tiffany, Claire, and Kylie are going to have a conversation.
Let's start using that item.
This one's been running around the Twitter streets here because it's a very fun moment. Tiffany, big fan of the game, is talking about her favorite player, Dan Giesling. She loves his game, and oh man, love Dan. I wish that he knew who I was. And Kylan's like, well, now he does. And she legitimately hadn't thought about it, right? Like, she was like, oh my god, you're right. And she, like, freaks out. She's like, oh my god. She, like, goes in the bathroom, starts crying a little bit. It's such an adorable moment. And she goes on to talk about, like, how much she loves Dan and the funeral and, like, how it sent her, like, really, really fun stuff. Love Tiffany. She's also going to talk with Azza, and they both talk about how they don't want Derek to go. That they both are kind of on the same page. Neither of them want Derek to go, and they both kind of want Brent to be the target. Now, I think they have slightly different ideas of what the method of targeting Brent would be. Azza's still on the idea of putting Brent up next to Derek. But they're both mostly on the same page here. And Tiffany says, look, you win your HOH, you don't let the house tell you what to do. That's your chance to make what you want to have happen. So don't let the house tell you what to do on your own HOH. And I think that was probably her way of starting to get into Azza's head, like, you don't even need to nominate Derek. You can just go ahead and do what you want. At least I hope. That's sort of my hope for her. My hope for what she was saying, right? So Brent is going to talk a bit with Derek. Alyssa's there for a while as well, but then she leaves, and then Brent talks with Derek, and they're talking about Frenchie and how he's bounced back and forth, and Derek's kind of wondering, like, can we trust Frenchie? Of course we do trust Frenchie, but can we? And Brent is like, yeah, he's bouncing back and forth, but don't worry, he's still with us, and all of that, right? So Brent is very much the sort of cheerleader for the Slaughterhouse. He's the guy that's like, we're in the crew, and obviously Derek's not in Slaughterhouse, but Brent is very much the, I think, figure that the fans are gonna, be annoyed with, because he's the one that's gonna try and keep everything nice and calm and steady with the big majority alliance. So he's talking with Derek, yes, Derek X, and he brings up the possibility of the women working together. Now Derek has spoken with some of these women, like Tiffany, and he had a conversation with Claire as well. But Derek is not super forthcoming about any information that he has about them. So it gives you a little bit of hope for Derek. And mostly just, a conversation, again, of Brent just feeling like Brent always talks about having Derek in his pocket, right? He says it to other people, but he also acts like it when he talks to Derek still. He's not harping as much on, like, the you betrayed me, you're dead to me, you better do whatever you can. But the overall attitude still exists, right? He speaks to him as though he is in his pocket, and you know, you can feel it.
Poison. That's not the only thing.
So, yes, let's see here. Xavier is going to talk with Alyssa. Now, this was, it was not a great day for Xavier, and this was really like the, you know, the little cherry, I guess you could, maybe the cherry. I don't like cherries, so I guess that would, you know, if Xavier also doesn't like cherries, like he doesn't like coffee, then maybe that would work. But this is really like the crowning moment of failure here for Xavier as he speaks with Alyssa in the Have Not Run the Night. And Alyssa's talking about how, like, there's going to be no showmances this season, and it's all because of Frenchie. That you know, Frenchie is going to stop all the showmances. Nobody's going to be, you know, willing to try for a showmance. And she goes on to talk about, like, how she likes Brent's personality, but Christian's body. And she's saying this to Xavier. And she says, you know, Xavier, you and Whitney look great together. I would just, like, sometimes when she sits next to you, I get up and just kind of, like, leave you two alone because I'm like, oh. And Xavier's like, well, you know, I'm not really into her. You know, she's not really my type. And she asks him what is his type, and he goes on to basically describe her. And she is trying to dodge, and it's awkward. It's bad. Xavier is gonna go on to say that, like you know, well, you have all the men in this house chasing after you. You could have any man you want in this house. She's, oh, what? Why? What are you talking about? Why do you say that? You know, it's bad. It's not it's not the greatest look here for Xavier, poor guy. And it was definitely awkward. And I think the hope here is that you know, the hint has been taken and maybe he moves on, right? And maybe
I should end the episode here.
Interesting.
Seems like a decent spot then.
But you know, we'll see. It's
oh yeah, I keep on.
Honestly, it's hard to convey properly. You know, if you care about this sort of thing, I would go back and watch this conversation. That was probably a